Well, good morning, everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. It's Veterans Day, and I just want to say thank you to all those who were willing to join up and serve and have served your country. Thank you very much for offering to us freedom and continuing to fight for that. This morning, I want to talk to you about something that would be easily set aside as not pertaining to us, but I think that David gives us a lesson in Chronicles 21 that we need to understand a little bit better, because I think that we live in a time where Christians are trying to minimize any amount of sacrifice of their daily living. In fact, I think that we are trying to minimize any impact on our pursuits, our loves, our whatever that we do in life. We're trying to minimize Christianity's impact, God's impact on those things. And David says something extremely profound at a very difficult time in his life. He had made a tremendous mistake, and the punishment was heavy, and God had stopped the punishment. It was time for him to make reconnection with the Lord over it. And so he goes to build an altar where God tells him, this is the place where I've stopped my punishment for you. This is the place I want you to go, and I want you to offer sacrifice there. And so in 1 Chronicles 21, verses 22 through 24, we just kind of hear a piece of that. And so if you want to understand a little bit more about what was going on and the mistake that David made, all that, you're just going to have to read the rest of the chapter. But in verse number 22, it says, Then David said to Ornan, Grant me a place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar therein unto the Lord. Thou shalt grant it to me for the full price, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Ornan said unto David, Take it to thee, and let my lord the king do that which is good in his eyes. And lo, I give thee the oxen for the burnt offerings, and the threshing floor instruments for wood, and the wheat for the meat of the offering. I give it all. Listen to this. Here's what it is. So David asked to buy the property at full price. The owner of the property loves David so much. He said, Hey, David, whatever you need, take it and offer it. And this is how David responds to that generosity of someone who loves him. He says, And King David said unto Ornan, Nay, but I will verily buy it for the full price, for I will not take that which is thine for the Lord, nor offer burnt offerings without cost. And so basically David is saying, I will never offer to the Lord things that cost me nothing. And so we see this powerful statement from David about wanting to make sure that if there was going to be any sacrificing to the Lord, he was going to pay the full price of it. He didn't want to offer God cheap gifts. He didn't want to offer God leftovers or something that didn't cost him anything at all. In fact, I think that the avoidance in our day of wanting any personal cost for our salvation or any personal cost in our lives for our Christianity is crippling not only the individual person, but it's crippling the church and its testimony, because we have a lot of people that do not want to sacrifice anything. But if we look at Romans chapter number 12, verse number 1, it says that we are to present ourselves as a living sacrifice. That means our entire life is to be a sacrifice for the Lord. And so if you're trying to make sure that Christianity costs you nothing in your life, that it doesn't cost you missing out on a game or cost you not taking that offer that would take you away from God's work, whatever the case may be, we need to remember that we are to be living sacrifices. We are to be a people that lives for the Lord at great personal cost. And so remember that as you go about your day today. The freedom we experience came at a high price. Somebody had to make a personal sacrifice. If we want our faith to be well thought of in our world, it's going to take personal sacrifice, not the sacrifice of somebody else that's their job to sacrifice. No. David didn't say, I'm going to make sure the Levites have what they need to make sure they do sacrifice. He said, I'm going to sacrifice. It's going to be me. It's my God, it's my infraction, it's my need. I will sacrifice to the Lord, and it's going to cost me because my God is worth it. Remember, your God is worth it. Your salvation is worth it. Have a great day.